Thank you.
Watching your world from afar, I've been trying to be where you are, and I've been secretly falling apart, unseen. To me, you're strange and you're beautiful. You'd be so perfect with me, but you just can't see. You turn every head, but you don't see me. I'll put a spell on you. You fall asleep when I put a spell on you. And when I wake you, I'll be the first thing you see, and you'll realize that you love me. Sometimes the last thing you want comes in first. Sometimes the first thing you want never comes. I know the waiting is all you can do. Sometimes I'll put a spell on you. You fall asleep, I'll put a spell on you. And when I wake you, I'll be the first thing you see, and you will realize that you love me. I'll put a spell on you. You fall asleep, 'cause I'll put a spell on you.
So, what do you think about what you've seen?
Brilliant. It's really good. It's very inventive rock. People have got loads of imagination, much better than they ever thought they'd do it possible. So yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed.
How was that?
That was so oh my god.
That was a bit weird.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
We got attacked by gypsies on the way in, washing our window.
And then we came here and there's like a man in a bird mask on someone's shoulder and I was like, oh my god, I'm still drunk. It's just like, I was looking down the toilet. I was really good. I was like, made a crack. She was asking me.
Well, these guys were nicking that mattress and he fell underneath it. He was on top and we were both on that one going like that. So yeah, no, it was all good. Great fun.
I'm really dizzy now.
You did so well. I'm so pleased. 9-year-olds can stay still for 5 minutes. It's amazing.
So how did you get involved with this then?
I think a friend sent me an invite on Facebook and I joined. I went to the Cabot Circus one, and then my friends were supposed to come with me to this one, but nobody could come. One was hungover, the other one just couldn't be bothered, so I was like, I'm going on my own.
I found about it on Facebook, in the Facebook group.
Okay. And you received your instructions there and you knew?
Yeah, he just gave updates every few weeks or so, and he released the location.
Who is it? Who's the guy? Who's the mastermind? Do we know who the mastermind is?
Yeah,
I believe it's a guy called Matt.
Matt, that's it. Yeah, you don't have Facebook, so you wouldn't know.
It's all fun, isn't it? And it's hurting nobody. And this is what we need today. Things that make us feel happy and feel good.
Every IKEA should be like this.
Yes.
That's a good idea.